Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Micromotor Workshop. Today is going to be a little different again because I'm still in trial mode, trying to make this thing work again, as Peter Newman commented on the recording of the YouTube video from yesterday. And yeah, that's indeed the mode I'm currently in, trying to make it work again with, since everyone has jumped on the live bandwagon since I did the last live stream flurry in 2016. So yeah, stuff has come a long way, lots of new services, lots of new rules. And Peter, as he does, complained about the quality. So yeah, thanks for that. I might have changed or fixed that. The default rate in ShareLink of 720p footage is 2.1 megabits per second. My line, thank you NBN, gives me a little more than that. So I have upped it to the maximum that I can set, which is 4 megabit a second. So yeah, let's see if the quality here is better. If it's not, then I might consider to go to single streaming directly to YouTube again, because I didn't get to speak to Mark yesterday, but I really have some issues with Facebook. It really does my head in, so that's why I'm not really sure if I want to continue on the Facebook bandwagon. Although I spoke to Jesse Perkins yesterday, and he he allowed me to stream to the Tiny Whoop group by making me a moderator there. But yeah, Mark didn't seem to agree to that, and didn't let ShareLink access my groups on Facebook, so I can't stream to any group anymore in Facebook. I think now it should be streaming to the Micromotor Warehouse Facebook page, but yeah, most of my buddies hanging out in those Facebook groups. I mean, that's how I'm using Facebook, with groups, because all the other stuff with the newsfeed, etc. Mark wrecked that a long time ago. So also I've changed how you can see the stream. As you might have noticed, you can see me in 16:9 now. No Discord chat on the side, because sorry guys, the Discord chat hasn't been too busy, whilst a lot of you guys been hanging out in the Facebook and the YouTube chat. So I'll see if I can get more feedback in using those two chats on a computer here, but that also requires me to chase up these streams after ShareLink has created them. So yeah, maybe that will be the final straw to go back to YouTube only streaming. So let me see if I can find my own stream. It doesn't notify me about this. So I need to go to the Micromotor Warehouse page, and there, maybe it is there already. Let's have a look. So, grow your customer base with Pixel. Videos live stream. Is it here? Are we streaming? Are we live? There's videos live and live stream. Live stream has nothing. And video live, oh, here we go. Live, it says. Oh, there, I can see myself. 1 like, 1 comment. How do I comment? Comment. Matthew Bella says, looks great. Thank you. But yeah, only counts until Pedro says it looks good. Dave Geisler is watching from Minnesota. Welcome, my friend. So that works good already. Let me see if I can open up the YouTube chat at the same time. Other window. Yeah, I'm sorry. It would be kind of cool if you could see my my screen here while I'm browsing around. That would be an interactive experience, right? But yeah, the only way I currently have to get computer screen outputs into the stream is by hardwiring them. I have one computer set up indoors that's wired over HDMI to the switcher. Maybe in the future I'll set up something like a VNC running over there so I can remote control this from here, and then you can see the output. But yeah, for now, if you want to be in one of those chats, well, that's what I'm going to see on my screen as well. So go into the Facebook chat or into the YouTube chat. So let me see if I can go to YouTube as well. Where can I go? My channel. Mark Congleton is watching in Alabama. Sweet home. Welcome, Mark. Live now, it says. It's an infinite loop. Seeing myself live twice. One Mod Zabidi, one Idris says, hello from Malaysia. Malaysia. Sorry for butchering your name, my friend. I'm sure there's a better way to pronounce this. Not fast enough. Glad to see you here. Where's everybody? Exactly, that's what we're trying to figure out. I'm here now too. Sean Dolan, again, you're always there. Hello from Wisconsin. We are live. ZTune13 is there from France. And not fast enough is Discord works for that, he says. So let me see, I think I can pop out the chat. And there appears a little ninja and the chat has popped out. So now I can minimize my other window and I do have the chat here. Frequent Flyer RC still needs CX10 motors. You know, it brings up memories from the past. You know, these little, what were there, 6x10 or 4x10, 4x12 millimeter motors? They didn't work really well, although they were really fast. What's up, Pilsner Popper? Glad to see you back again as well. Yeah, if you see Pilsner Popper in the YouTube chat, he has a little wrench. So if you're misbehaving in the YouTube chat, Mr. Pilsner Popper will wrench you out the door. Thank you, my friend. Discord computer screen sharing anyway says not fast enough. Yeah, if you guys are going nuts in the chat room again, as you used to a while back, I'll bring this back for the entertainment of everyone. So, so far for the housekeeping. JBFPV is back as well. If I remember correctly, you are somewhere in Holland, right? One of my favorite countries. Used to go there a lot when we were young. Friends of mine used to live right on the border, so you know we went kind of through the forest to get fla. Yeah, fla. One of the good things that only the Hollanders have. So my main topic for today, because yeah, really the main topic is to get this thing going again. But I kind of have a topic to talk about in case you guys let me down and don't come up with great stuff I can talk about. My buddy Jeff left a great review about the motors that we are making for the Star Wars drones, Star Wars battle drones. I'm not exactly sure what the marketing name for these things is or was. Are they still selling them? Propel makes or made them. And yeah, I bought them back in the days, 2016, for a lot of money. And I'm flying them frequently and they're still in good shape. I crashed them quite a bit. I broke a motor once or twice, and the propellers even outlasted the motors. And at some stage, of course, I went on replacing the motors with some custom 10 by 20 millimeter motors that we have come up with. And I didn't make much marketing about it as usual. I'm not very good at marketing, but people figured out that we are the only one who are selling replacement motors for these quadcopters, because Propel doesn't. They have some ridiculous stories if you message them for replacement motors. But uh, as opposed to DJI/Rise, by the way, people argue that it's not a DJI drone, it's a Rise drone. Well, if you look at the registration of riserobotics.com, all the admin emails in the Whois database, they all end up with DJI.com. So Rise is just a subsidiary of DJI. It's not an excuse. Anyway, Propel, even though their customer service is from hell, they made a smart design decision, which is there are motor connectors in there. So if you have one of these Propel Star Wars drones and a motor broke, you can relatively easily remove all the 38 screws of this thing, carefully pry off the top and a couple other pieces that are in the way, then take the motors out, unplug them, and install new motors. Plug them in, and then screw all the screws in, and store the 28 you have left afterwards somewhere safe in case you need them. And here, pro tip, in case you're missing some when you're assembling them, they're always stuck to the motors. And then you have a pretty well flying fighter thing again. Now, they used to be very expensive when I bought them, but I've heard that people picked them up for like $60, $70 at, I think, Walmart. So if you can snag one of them as a bargain, or two ideally, I can really recommend them. They're great fun. And even though from an aesthetic point, I like that the propellers are pointing down, one of the features of these is that you can shoot yourself with infrared beams, and then if you hit someone, they start tumbling and going to the ground after 3 hits. It would be a lot more sustainable, guys, if the propellers would face up. It wouldn't make that much of a difference aesthetically. Yeah, I know that my buddy Chemal in the UK has one of them and modded the little figurine on here to have an FPV camera in the chest. Still on my list to do. But yeah, the list isn't getting shorter, it's only getting longer every day. So, chat room got a little busy. Let's have a look what's going on here. Personal Purpose says, don't forget to click the bell. Yeah, I've seen this on many YouTube channels I'm subscribed to. They always say, click the bell, you're getting notifications. Yeah, please guys, tell me, did you get a notification when this live stream popped up? And should we go and post the stream link onto other Facebook groups? How do I do this? So I'm on Facebook here. Is there a share link somewhere? Where do I share this thing? Doesn't give me an option to share. I mean, maybe we can share the load here. Maybe one of you guys can take up the responsibility of sharing this video on your favorite Facebook group. I don't see a button here to share. Why not? Because it's my own video? Come on, there's 5 or now 4. Someone just left because the info isn't flowing snappy enough. I noticed that. I don't have a button to share this video here. Let me take the YouTube video then. Even though Mark, I'm sure, won't appreciate that if I take the YouTube video and share that on the other Facebook channels. But yeah, sorry, Mark. On YouTube, they're currently watching 17 people. You're clearly outmarked. JBFPV says he did get a notification, but you also did hit the bell. Good man. So share. I take this video link here, copy, and then open another Facebook tab and go to my friends at Tiny Whoop. Back on deck. Paste. Post. So let's see. That brings a few more bumps on seats. Not fast enough that I did this time getting a notification, but I've missed quite a few live streams lately from not getting a notification. You know, maybe in the future I'll get so organized that I put up an event beforehand. But yeah, currently I'm just building up momentum, building up, yeah, not motivation, building up discipline to do it every day, despite the hardships being thrown my way by the internets. John C. Thomas says, I've been getting your notifications for months, and I got this one when you went live today. That's good. So some things work. I haven't even installed the Discord on this computer here, but I'll be better prepared next time. I think JB has an anti-gravity machine hidden in the yak head on his wall. Yeah, if you are into tiny whooping or into micro FPV, and why else should you be watching this channel? Then I definitely recommend to watch JB FPV's videos. If you don't mind, JB, post a link to one of your latest videos in all the chat rooms you're in so people can see, if they haven't seen yet, your crazy artistic moves around your tiny two-bedroom apartment, I think it is. Two very small rooms connected to a small door, and he flies acro in this like it's the last day. Very impressive. I'm below sea level. That makes all the difference. Yeah, thick air is has some good traction to flying, right? So Facebook chat is quiet. That's, you know, not surprising. Well, when I say Facebook chat, what I'm currently looking at is the automatic post that Sharing has created on the Micromotor Warehouse Facebook page. But yeah, Mark has made Facebook pages a pretty ridiculous institution. I'm only using it because that's currently the only thing that ShareLink claims to have access to. But yeah, if you want to run a business or if you want to get information out to people, Facebook page only sends out information if you're constantly throwing coins in. So you cannot expect that if you put something on your Facebook page that anyone sees it. It's just kind of random acts if someone just walks past and sees it. The way I use Facebook is over groups. I subscribe to the groups where I'm interested in. I say send me notifications, and if anyone posts in those groups, I'm getting a notification. That's how it should be when I'm subscribing to a business page. When I'm interested into whatever this business is doing, I want to subscribe and get all the notifications. No, that's not how it works. Mark is holding his hand up to do that. So that's one of the reasons why we're all organized in groups, right? Because it just doesn't work otherwise. But yeah, I have the feeling Facebook is on the way out. Facebook is becoming an old people um, technology, like handwriting. So not fast enough is also at sea level. Still in search of your own yak. Pilsner Popper says JB is the best indoor acro pilot. You know, haven't seen anything that competes with it yet. There are many good people flying acro on YouTube, but no one is doing it as jelly. Jella? Yella? Trying it again. Yella. That's my best bet. Yella. Suck on trial isn't helping. Yeah, you know what? Does anyone of you know what Zuckerberg means? Doesn't have to do anything with suckering or zuckering, even though you might think that. It's a German word. It means sugar mountain, which I think it's pretty descriptive. Being sugar is actually one of the most addictive drugs on this planet. I always imagine Facebook like a mountain of sugar. Gets you addicted and lazy and fat. So yeah, let's change the world. Let's move away from Facebook. Uh, John C. Thomas is old as well. Welcome to the club, my friend. It's a goat. Who's a goat? I don't know who's a goat. Oh, the thing on Jelly's wall. Okay, that's a goat. Okay, I'll have to watch carefully next time. So, it looks like it's all working. You guys don't have any real hard questions for me that I can obsess over longer. It's already 7:05 on the Australian East Coast, and if you guys don't come up with some challenging questions very quickly, I give you a couple more seconds because there's up to 10 seconds delay between me speaking and you hearing. Then I'll clock out early today because today there's school interview. So at 8:30, I gotta leave here, turn up at the school and talk to the teachers about what my son has been up to. And before that, I still gotta answer a couple of questions and um, pack a couple of packages to bring to the post. So if you have something to say, do it quick. JB was about to ask silverware. Have you tried it? Do you know about it? I still didn't try it. I feel a little bad about this, but as far as I understand, you have to solder little wires to the flight controller. I'm a bit disappointed about that. Not that I'm not able to do this, but I want to change the software that frequently that not having a USB port on the board really deters me. Then recently, Beta FPV has told me that they have created I think they call it Beta Lite board, which is essentially the very similar electronics to the eChine E10 or E11 boards, but on a proper whoop style flight controller. And again, that thing doesn't have a USB port to connect to it and muck around with this. So yeah, maybe not. I'm not getting it, but I think there should be a more convenient way of getting the firmware onto it. And yeah, this doesn't mean that I think I couldn't do it. I probably can, but on all the things I'm doing, I want to put them on video and help other people to do the same thing. That's one of the things that kept me away from silverware. But yeah, maybe there are so many people who are willing to go through the pain of somehow connecting a programmer to it, right? That's what you got to do. See, I didn't even really look that far into it. Maybe there are more people who can afford what is it, $10 or $20 flight controller and then go through the hassle of programming it the hard way, as opposed to investing $30, $40, $50 into a flight controller that is a little more convenient. So yeah, that's why. Sorry guys, I really appreciate all the effort you put into silverware, and yeah, I kind of feel bad that I didn't do it yet. We'll get to that point, I think. So, not fast enough, who is one of the main contributors to the project Mockingbird and the silverware programming and also the Alien Hoof programming, says we have it working on FR Sky S bus. What? Silverware? And on what hardware is it running? John C. Thomas says 8K, 8K. And Travis says here's a question. Was it the question that you posted above? He says it's worth it. So, okay, I put this a little higher up on my list to try. Not fast enough says, what if I send you one pre-tuned? Well, that'll make it easier for me, but not for everyone who follows after me. You know, I'm still burned by the time where I have gone through the pain of setting up the micro MWC flight controllers and then put out instructions on how to do this, and even bought some of them and sold them on to people, and all the shit I got for that from people complaining about me getting them on this because it's such a painful process, even though I told them it's not easy. But yeah, it was just that burned me for some time to come. It's perfect for mad scientists. Heck that toy brain. Yeah, we'll get to that. Thanks, my friends. I appreciate the effort. I've reached the end of the chat room. Whenever it gets quiet, means you don't keep me busy. So I posted it on the Tiny Whoop Micro FPV Pilots of the World group, the YouTube link, and there's one like, no comment. What's up, Mark? What's your problem? Okay, that's it, my friends. If you can give me some feedback, especially those of you who are seeing the recording of the stream on YouTube, is it better than the last two? The main difference here, what I did today is I changed the streaming bandwidth from 2 Mbit to 4 Mbit. The default is, which says best quality on 720p and ShareLink is 2 Mbit. But yeah, I went in custom and says, give me everything you have. And that's what we also streamed last season at 4.2 megabit per second. So I hope it's nice and crisp quality. Yeah, one last look in the chat room before I go on to the remaining duties of the day. New jumper plus radio. Oh, lots of messages here. Thrust tests on 6x17. Didn't I already publish that? 6x17 performance data in terms of thrust is very similar to 7x16, but the energy consumption is a lot higher, and also the heat development is a lot higher. I've recently installed 6x17s and 7x16 motors on the hovercrafts, and the 6x17s start glowing and melting the motor mounts within around a minute, whilst 7x16, you can punch them hard on a 600 milliamp battery for 10 minutes straight. So even though I know some of you guys are fans of the 6x17s. I'm still selling them because so many people of you are buying them, but I'm not that much of a fan. John C. Thomas asks, what's my favorite FC? Well, there's a variety of them. I prefer them for different purposes. It really brings them high up on my list if they're easy to program and do not burn up quickly. So one of my all-time favorites is the Alienware Classic Narrow. That's why we are still selling that. I even went through the effort of setting up my own production facility of those in Germany. It's quite expensive. That's why we're not selling too many of those. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. And the other FC that I'm currently selling and liking, because that's what I'm selling, that's why I'm not selling the Micro MWC anymore, because I didn't like it. Well, you guys didn't like it. Beta FPV F3 S-Bus OSD flight controller is very nice. So those two are currently on top of my list, but there are quite a few others that I like too. New Jumper Plus radio. That's cool. Haven't played with those. Jumper T8SG Plus came out. I think that's a radio with a built-in multi-protocol module. Very nice. I should really look into that, I think. Pilsner Popper says the stream looks good. That's good. Appreciate your feedback. John C. Thomas says good info on the 7x16s. That's, by the way, is my favorite motor for a long time. Well, it dipped a little bit in my favor, but it was actually the motor I started flying on. Some of you guys might remember the Hobby King Pocket Quad came with 7x16 motors stock. They were crap though, because Hobby King. Well, yeah, let's not get started with that. JB FPV is asking, what's your favorite FPV camera? So it seems like I got stirred you guys with asking questions. What's your favorite FPV camera at the moment for the Whoop? I'm still using the VM2751 camera, even though it kind of seems to go out of production. I really need to buy large batches of them to keep the production going, so I might change that as well. But yeah, the VM2751 is the successor of the VM275T. Very small form factor, decent quality, can transmit in PAL and NTSC, can flip the image, and has all 40 channels. And it has a video in and video out, which you can bridge if you don't use an OSD. But if you have a OSD, you can very easily connect it to the ins and out of your OSD chip. So that's why I currently prefer the VM2751. But yeah, the suppliers told me maybe not next time. So I might change to a slightly different camera, which I think is also from AIO. John C. Thomas is also running the Beta FPV F3 FC and likes it. And not fast enough, needs some guidance on 7x16 20,000 and 7x16 25,000. I do have some 7x16 20,000 kV or something. I think they're 21,000. I made them together like years, 1.5 years I think ago when we started this. Made some 21,000 and some 25,000, left them sitting on the bench for quite some time because I didn't really see an application for that, and then started selling the 25,000. If you want not fast enough, I'll send you some of my samples of the 20,000 something kVs so you can play around with those yourself. Personally, I didn't see any advantage of those 7 of the 6x17 slower than 25,000, because then you can also use 6x15 or 7x16,000, 7x16 millimeter motors, and not having to deal with the little extraordinary form factor of the 6 by 17 millimeter motors because the only frame they fit in properly are the cockroach frame. And yeah, even though they have been quite innovative at the point where they have been released, at that point the cockroach frames have been more resilient than most of their competitors, but they're in that shape on the market for I think around a year, and you know, the plastic is pretty brittle and they could use some reinforcements here and there. Instead of revising the design, Nubidrone has decided to increase the price and make them colorful. At that point, they kind of lost me and I started buying the better FPV 6 by 15 and 7 by 16 frames. So yeah, I don't have any frames anymore in stock for the 6 by 17s because the Nubidrone. NFE deserves some love, says Pilsner Papa. What's NFE? Not fast enough. Not fast enough deserves some love. That's right. If you mean not fast enough, he certainly deserves some love. Thanks for doing what you do, my friend. So I sent you some. If you don't see a shipping notification of those in the next 24 hours, then please send me a reminder to this email address over there, which yeah, is also the place where you can send all your feedback. If you're not watching this live, use this email address, or up here gets you to a little info page that I've set up with all links to the streams and links to the Discord chat and the related forum thread, which hasn't been too busy until now as well, but that's the places where I endeavor to check in between shows to make some notes for me to figure out what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. JBFPV says he loves the E11 frame material because it's so flexible. It does mean that you break more props, that's right. I wish there was a 6mm frame with that material. Actually, I think the Beta 65 frame in its latest incarnation is probably pretty close to what you want, my friend. Not fast enough is stuck on 7mm, but I'm 617 curious. Well, in my opinion, you shouldn't be too excited about this, but I don't want to ruin the fun. I'll send you some. That's it for today, my friends. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. I'll see you next time.